Yeah, so the Minister and Deputy Leighton, and I believe the Minister has said that he would welcome this amendment to be withdrawn. And you know something, it's probably the first time I've agreed with you in a long time, Minister, but I agree with you there now. Okay, for the purpose of providing public transport or active walking or cycling transport infrastructure, only where the scheme or proposed road development will not contribute to carbon emissions for the transport sector. Again, if you look at the Dare bypass, and if you keep reading down through this, is for to include demand through provision of road capacity for private vehicles, use or induce demand through the provision. If you look at the likes of the Dare bypass, that will be used for this type of project, right? If you look at the likes of any of the structures that are in this country at the moment, and we look at our bus transport system at the moment, and I'll speak to the amendment on bus transport. Okay. At the moment, Bus Éireann have asked the providers, private providers, to make their vehicles smaller because the road carriageways have narrowed because of the laws that we cannot cut the hedgerows. So this is now we're driving small vehicles and sometimes two vehicles when one vehicle would do to collect children. And we've seen there when the free bus was handed out that the reason why most of the children that want to get on the bus for the concessionary passes cannot be addressed is because that Bus Éireann said that the road carriageway, because of the hedging, that's not be cut, that they cannot put on a bigger bus. But yet, if the likes of a milk lorry or an ambulance or any bus sector wants to get on these carriageways, this is actually contradicting what they're trying to do. So let's get real here. I know you were only elected for a short time within the County Council. And in the short time that you were in the County Council, there's 40 County Councillors in Limerick City and County Council. 21 in the city and 19 in the county. And I'd say to be fairly disappointed that you're trying to give extra powers to Bord Pleanála when last week's debate was on the problems that we're having with Bord Pleanála and the investigations that are into it of what is happening within Bord Pleanála. So I'll go back to the amendment. Anything that has to do with transport in this country until there is proper infrastructure, these amendments should never be made. Until, and it goes back to earlier on what we said, it's going to come down to the situation shortly, is where you want everyone in this country to drink Red Bull and fly. Because the transport sector in this country, where it comes from a truck hauliers, where it comes from private bus operators in this country, have no other option because they're tied into vehicles that they need to pay off for over 10 years. And any amendments like this, and it is on the amendment, Chair, if you look at it, it is down that any of these proposals that he has down here on his amendment is not to contribute to the carbon emissions from the transport sector. And that is the amendment, is it not? It is on the amendment that I'm speaking to. Well, and again, lack of knowledge of the sector that you're dealing with and lack of infrastructure.